here's the thing. I didn't get all of the answers that I wanted either. And I really appreciate them going out of their way to do this. But the thing is, just because it was on this show, it does not mean that it erases what happened or what didn't happen last week. Because I still think that this should have happened last week. Because going back to what I said on the previous episode of PWTR, that sense of urgency. If you're that pissed off, why did you wait 8 days after the show to finally say something about it? But now that something has been said about it, every single thing that Paul Heyman said on the friggin' money, on point, he knocked it out of the park the way he set up everything, because he literally was saying exactly what I said, whether this is the authority putting Seth Rollins up to it or it's Seth Rollins himself, and he laid that out perfectly. And I thought that Seth Rollins, his response, it was pretty good too. But, and here's the reason why I don't believe that we actually are leading to the six-man Hell in a Cell match. Because if you listen to what Paul Heyman said, I appreciate you for your chutzpah that you're displaying there, but don't let it happen again. He's basically saying that, okay, I'm going to let you off this time, but if it happens again, then you'll deal with Brock Lesnar. So the thing that I'm thinking is, with the way that the show is being set up, and we had heel Aussie, big PWTR listener, he's always tweeting along with the hashtag PWTR on Twitter. He was talking about how he didn't want Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar on the show last week because it would overshadow what they were trying to build up with people like Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. So I think that WWE is creating an atmosphere where you don't necessarily need Brock Lesnar to be there at Hell in a Cell.
I don't know. I think that they're more so creating an atmosphere where you can drop the belt at Hell in a Cell and have it be okay and move on to other things, so that they're getting the characters ready to be in either the champion or to be in a championship feud. Because I just don't believe that it's too much of a coincidence that they set up all these storylines that all merge at the same time, and for there not to be some kind of payoff for it. I mean, too many of these superstars who have these separate feuds are all in the main event scene at the same time and have been a part of the main event scene for the past 2 months or so. I mean, even 2 months ago, we were talking about how Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose were involved in the championship feud between Brock Lesnar and Cena. So it just seems like it's all coming to a head right now.
But then can I just say that I do 100% agree with you, Manny. It has to be more than just a coincidence that all of these things are coming together into one. Because it's like WWE is fighting and trying their damnedest not to go in the direction of the six-man Hell in a Cell, even though that is the way that the storyline is naturally playing out. And I don't know, it was just something about the way that Paul Heyman said it on Monday Night Raw, because if you look at the situation, like, and this is WWE, like I said, fighting the natural inclination of the storytelling here, because you have Paul Heyman, he goes out there, and Seth Rollins is basically selling him on the fact that he was behaving by a Paul Heyman guy's rules. So basically, when he was talking about how I'm an opportunist, I did nothing differently than you would have done. He was basically selling Paul Heyman. He was selling Paul Heyman. Like, he was trying to sell something to Paul Heyman. And my whole thing on the situation is, like, what about Brock Lesnar? Because even if Seth Rollins is out there saying, oh, I'm an opportunist, I want to cash in on the best, and I want to do the best for my career. Okay, Paul Heyman is okay about that, but why the fuck should Brock Lesnar care about Seth Rollins' career? Like,
exactly.
I don't understand that. So it's like they threw that out there thinking that it would excuse Brock Lesnar's presence, but it didn't work for me. But I still think that they're creating an atmosphere to where they have so much going on without Brock Lesnar that he doesn't necessarily need to be there. But I'm not buying it, though.